This is my iRobot Scuba review. So this is the automatic mop that's made by iRobot, the same people who make the iRobot Roomba, the automatic vacuum, which I love, 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 and would buy any day of the week. This is the mop that they came out with. And I like it. I use it a lot, but don't break the bank to buy it. There's a lot of mixed reviews on it. A lot of people don't like it for one reason or another. Mainly that it's very expensive and it's a little quirky. So this is not the newest version. I chose not to buy the newest version because I felt it was too expensive. It was almost $700. This is the previous version. I believe it's called the 360. And it was several $100s cheaper. And I felt like it was worth the expense. If you look around on the internet, you might be able to find it a little bit cheaper than actually than on some sites than others. So let's go on with our review here. I pre-treat. I have a bottle that I just put about this much pine sol in and then this much water. And I go around, and if I see something that's on the floor and super sticky, like dried Cheerios or candy or something, and I just spray it. I just go around, I spray whatever spots I see on the floor before I put this down. And then when I get this ready, I fill up the water. I put in a couple capfuls of white vinegar, and then I fill the rest up with water and the clean. And those two together really seem to help getting everything off the floor. And then when it's done, if there's anything stuck, like sometimes there's something super hard stuck to the floor, no matter what you're doing or whatever mopping system you're using. I have a little plastic paint scraper, and I just scrape it up and throw it in the trash. It takes a couple seconds, and then boom, done. So it's relatively easy. This little Minnie Mouse was in my other video, Roomba Keeps Getting Stuck Fix. This is the stop sensor. It's not quite as sensitive on the mop as it is on the vacuum. So I put this little Minnie Mouse to keep it from getting stuck underneath the furniture, and it works really, really well. Watch that other video if you want to know how to keep yours from getting stuck underneath the furniture. So here's the power. Here's the play. You put it whatever room you want, hit go. And if you need to move it, hit pause, put it somewhere else, hit go. It's very simple. There's not a docking station. It's just a plug. So you plug it in here, and there's a little rubber cover for when it's running. You push it down. So let's go on with the way it works. You push down to open it, and then up. And it slides out. This part, it says do not get wet. This is electronical part. I put it on the countertop and pull out this other part, fill it up, and then put it back in here. So I don't put this near the sink. At least not too close to the sink for sure. There's several parts in here that are important. If you're having a lot of alarms or it's not running very well or it's very loud, you take this sucker out. You can use a chopstick, you can use a pipe cleaner. Just push it through a couple times. It gets a couple clogs in it sometimes. Rinse it with water and then put it right back in. Push it real flush. You have to push it very flush or it'll alarm that it's not in there and it won't work. And then this one comes out. This is the debris catcher. It's got a mesh. You just kind of tap it on the trash can and rinse it with water and then put it back in. And then make sure you push it flush or it won't work. It'll alarm that it's not working well. I've had it mess up twice, and those were the reasons that it didn't want to run. And there was just a little clog in there because I hadn't really cleaned it very well. Those are the only cleaning that I do. And I actually started doing those almost every use. For sure, do the debris catcher every use, because this is where, if there's anything left in your floor after you use your Roomba vacuum or after sweeping, and then you put this down, if there's anything left in the floor, it's going to go in here. So I always use my Roomba vacuum first. And then once the floor is clean from that, I put down the mop. And it works really well that way. So here's what you fill up. You open this up, put in a couple caps of white vinegar and some water, fill it all the way up. It holds a lot of water. Don't use hot water because the manual says it can actually melt some of the working parts. So never put hot water in here. I usually do cool. I have put warm. It wasn't that big of a deal, but no hot. And then dirty. When you're done, you just open it up, pour it out. It'll be nasty, nasty dark water. Make sure you rinse it a couple times because you don't want anything in there to get clogged. There's jets that go in there. And so when you're done, it's real easy. It just slides right in. Lay it down real soft and then push right there and it's locked, ready to go. See my green button? Ready to go. Besides that, here's my virtual wall. Mine only came with one. I wish it was two. These are, I want to say, about 80 bucks each. I didn't want to have the extra expense. So if I need to use more than just this, I'll lay down my wooden chair on its side and let it bump the chair. But you can also spend the money to get another one of these if you want to. Or you can be creative and block its pathway, which is what I do. So here we go. It shows you how far the sensor will go off. I always have mine set on the furthest just because. And the green light means that it's working. This is your virtual wall. And I've had mine on continuously since I bought this, and I haven't had to change the batteries once. So it has a good life to it. If you have the iRobot Roomba, the vacuum, the virtual walls are not interchangeable. I tried multiple different times. They do not interchange. You have to use the virtual wall specifically for the scuba. So I really like it. I use it all the time. It is the main way I mop my floors. But like I said, it does not do a perfect job. There are a couple things you have to do to kind of help it along. Those are not approved by the manufacturer. They're just trial and error things that I figured out to make it work better. And this is the main way that I do my floors. I use it on laminate and tile. And you know, it does a good enough job that I don't have to do it myself. And with small children, convenience is a big factor for me. So like I said, it's several $100s. If it's something that you're going to have to make a monetarily leap for, don't do it. If it's something that you have a couple $100 and it's not that big of a deal for you to try it out, go ahead and get it. If you don't like it, then just return it. But for me, it was definitely worth it because I'd rather spend time with my kids than mopping the floor. Anyways, so I know it's an in-between review, but I hope that helps you guys out. Thanks so much. Please subscribe.